Tom Cruise might be all smiles on screen, but don't mistake composure for weakness. Because when someone crosses the line, he doesn't yell, lose control, or create drama. Instead, he calmly dismantles the question, the tone, and sometimes even the interviewer's entire approach, all without raising his voice. For decades, Tom Cruise has mastered something Hollywood rarely sees anymore: pressure without panic. A global icon, a controversial figure, and someone you definitely don't want to corner with a loaded question. From tense talk shows to uncomfortable live interviews, these are 10 moments where Tom Cruise completely took control of the conversation. It was 2005, and Cruise found himself under intense scrutiny after criticizing antidepressants during a heated discussion involving actress Brooke Shields.
She said that this particular thing helped her feel better, whether it was the antidepressant or going to a counselor or a psychiatrist.
Matt, you have to understand this. Here we are today, where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know now that Ritalin is a street drug? Do you understand that?
The difference is this was not
Matt,
against her will, though. But this wasn't against Brooke's will.
Matt, I'm asking you a question.
I understand there's abuse of all of these things.
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. That's what it does.
So postpartum depression to you is
Matt,
kind of a little psychological Google.
Matt pushed. Tom didn't budge.
Just asking, what would you call it?
Matt, that is the post. Now you're talking about two different things.
But that's what she went on the antidepressant for.
But what happens, the antidepressant, all it does is mask the problem. There's ways of vitamins and through exercise and various things. I'm not saying that that isn't real. That's not what I'm saying. That's an alteration of what I'm saying. I'm saying that drugs aren't the answer. That these drugs are very dangerous. They're mind-altering, antipsychotic drugs. And there are ways of doing it without that so that we don't end up in a brave new world.
Matt tried to soften the confrontation, but Tom's voice never wavered.
And you're here on the Today Show.
Right.
And to talk about it in a way of saying, well, isn't it okay, and being reasonable about it when you don't know, and I do. I think that you should be a little bit more responsible in knowing what it is, because you communicate to people.
No yelling. No insults, just razor-sharp precision that left Lauer looking like the uninformed one. It was intense, uncomfortable, and legendary. Australian interviewer Peter Overton asked the question millions probably wondered, but instead of getting a juicy answer, he got checked.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question? She's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Well, I suppose they're questions that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know.
Tom stared at him. Peter stumbled. What began as an attempt to pry open personal wounds became a masterclass in setting boundaries. An Asian reporter once asked Tom about Trump-era tariffs and overseas film productions. It was a complicated, politically charged question, disguised as casual curiosity.
I like to ask this question to anyone who's up for it. I watched the film, and I saw that it was filmed in many different locations around the world, including Africa. And of course, we all are aware of the tariffs that President Donald Trump has been imposing on overseas productions and films. So is this particular movie under that tariff? And also, how much of the film was shot overseas? I think that's a fair answer. All right. Can we move on to the next question, please?
No reaction, no comment, just a subtle shift in expression. It was brutal, without saying a single word. Sometimes silence is the loudest response you can give. And came the Sophia Bella's interview. At first, it was light and breezy, a conversation about a fight scene between Tom and Russell Crowe. But then, another reporter jumped in with this bizarre question.
These high standards for yourself with these stunts, but everyone else has to step up. Russell Crowe has said that in this film, he plays Dr. Jekyll. You have a fabulous fight scene, and he said you both had a discussion. You said, you know what, let's both just absolutely go for it.
Yeah. And look, he's an amazing athlete. He's a very good stuntman himself also. And, you know, if you look at that, the fight sequence that we have together, it was, we really had a lot of fun doing that.
He said he got bruised. I don't know how much fun he had.
Both of us got bruised. When he picks me up and slams me on that table, you know, he's...
It's a real table.
Yeah, he's got to do it.
So do you walk away from that and go, he would actually beat me if we went at it properly? If you had a fight properly?
Why do you ask that question? Why even? It's like I don't even think of stuff like that. I don't even think like I'm going to fight my
that's
friend.
right, because you're always thinking of the audience when you're making people.
Exactly. He's my friend. You know, that would never happen.
The question was awkward, but Tom's answer? Composed, firm, and icy. The message was clear. He wasn't there to entertain dumb hypotheticals, especially ones that pitted him against friends. Now this one? This one crossed the line from awkward into just plain disrespectful. A man disguised as a reporter squirted water in Tom's face during a red carpet interview.
Yeah, but it's about a family. It's about the journey of this family. Yes. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Come here. Why would you do that?
He looked the man dead in the eye. He repeated the phrase, calmly, firmly, again and again. The prankster was stunned.
What's so funny about that? It's ridiculous. Do you like making less of people? That's really... Hey, no. Don't run away. Don't run away. That's incredibly rude. I'm here giving you an interview and answering your questions, and you do something really nasty. You're a jerk.
Tom wasn't angry. He was disappointed. And that's what made it hit so much harder. In a separate interview, Tom was asked a strange hypothetical. It was a veiled jab, suggesting his life isn't normal, that his stardom made him less human.
Going back to Mission Impossible, one of my favourite bits of tech in that movie is, of course, the masks, right? And the reveal. Fine. If you could have a mask of just an average person, no one knows who you are, and you could walk about your life, no one knows that you're Tom Cruise, what are you doing?
Beg your pardon?
What are you doing? Like, it's not
what
you.
would I do?
Yeah, what would you do? No one knows it's you. They can't be there.
No, but I just do the same thing I always do.
Go watch movies.
Go watch movies. Go make movies. Go tour the world. You know, I feel look, it's a privilege. It's a dream of mine my whole life to do what I do and travel the world, the places where I was in America, and just work in these environments. And the kind of welcome that I get, I never take it for granted. It's very beautiful. So I enjoy it. I enjoy people.
Tom didn't miss a beat. He wasn't rattled. He owned it because he knows exactly who he is and doesn't need to justify that to anyone. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Jimmy tried to paint Tom as out of touch.
And to be honest, I use you as a distraction to get to my car.
So I'm trying to help you out with that.
Appreciate that. But are there times where you just want to, get to where you're going to go? And can you even, could you get on public transportation or go to a museum?
Look, I do. I'm ready for whatever's going to happen. So I don't change my life. But look, I like talking to people, you know, and as I said, I make my movies for them. And yeah, I do go on transportation. My security loves that when I do that.
Yeah,
the tube in England.
Tom smiled, then dropped a story that shut it all down.
Oh,
I do that. Sometimes I'll put on my hat, my earphones, and I'll just go in and get on the tube just if I want to get to the studio.
Does that work? Do people stop
Sometimes.
It does.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes, people are, during rush hour, I go in and I'll be there. And I remember one time I was there and there's 14-year-old kid. This girl was there and everyone was looking at their phones and I just saw her. I looked over and kind of my head's down. I got my baseball cap and she's just staring at me like this. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she just looked around the subway like...
It was funny, but real. Tom doesn't brag, he just lives, and when challenged, he brings stories, not excuses. Then came the insult. During a press tour for Collateral, an interviewer said the role seemed more fitting for Al Pacino or Robert De Niro.
How are you?
Hello. Very well, thank you.
So when I read about this movie, I said, well, this is a typical movie for Al Pacino or for Robert De Niro, and then you went and took that role upon yourself.
The insult wasn't even subtle. Tom didn't flinch. He leaned in.
I mean, I don't get afraid to take on characters. I get excited, you know. There's always that question of, is it going to work? Will I be able to do it? To what level? But I really enjoy starting a character and just having at it, you know, and see what happens.
He didn't defend his acting skills. He demonstrated his confidence. The interviewer tried to knock him down a peg. Tom stood taller instead. And when the same interviewer crossed another line, mic drop.
Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay. So I'm just telling you right now. Okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologise for that sincerely.
Good.
Over the years, interviewers have tried it all. Loaded questions, personal digs, gotcha moments, even physical pranks. Tom never plays their game. Because he doesn't need to raise his voice to make a point. He doesn't need to explode to hold power. He doesn't need to humiliate anyone to feel bigger. His power is in restraint, in control, in knowing that silence, or a well-placed sentence, can hit harder than any rant ever could. So the next time you see Tom Cruise smiling during a press tour, just remember, that smile isn't weakness, it's a warning. Because if you step out of line, he won't shout. He'll outclass you, and you'll never see it coming.